Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of your favorite Ravens YouTube channel podcast. Talking Ravens all day, every day with your host, Justin P. and my MVP, Million Dollar Co host, Shannon Finch. Episode 120 for the YouTube version. And for the audio version, I believe it's season 2, episode 21. All the links below to that, right there in the description, all right, along with myself, Dave, and Shannon's social media platforms. Shannon has some great topics for today. Talk about some stuff that happened last Saturday, and that we expect to see this Saturday. So further ado, I'm gonna give the floor to Shannon.
All right, so hey everyone, welcome back. So we're going to start this episode talking about the last preseason game, which was our second preseason game against the Falcons. So Justin, give me three takeaways you have for the game against the Falcons.
Okay, I've got this game as well. The first one, our backup quarterback situation is much worse than I originally thought. Josh Johnson did play better, but he still is like missing some throws. Emory Jones had a much better showing this that the Falcons game than he did against the Eagles. Threw a touchdown at Dayton Wade. That was big. Devin Larry looked a little spotty, but yeah, I guess with limited reps, that's what happens. Our guard situation got to get fixed because lately him missed some blocks. Voorhees missed some blocks. I guess that's just come from being out of football for years. I think he'll be fine. And the third one, the pass rush. David Ajabo looked good. Like I said, he didn't record anything statistically, but he was winning his one-on-one matchup. You see his PFF grades and all that stuff like that. He graded high because I've looked at it. He gave the offensive lineman hell. Granted, then I wasn't the starting offensive line, so I get it for those who ain't.
Hmm.
I get it. But him and D sides look good between what hurt and Tavius Robinson. He looked good. So did Joe Evans. So this group is starting to the better they play, the more or less I'm worried about them because those was my big concerns. Receiving core and the edge rush department. But they showed me something. But I want to see how they do this week against the Packers.
Hmm. Okay, so for me, I don't need to see anything else from Trenton Simpson. Like I feel like we've seen enough. I feel comfortable with him being next to Roquan, and I don't think he needs to play in this Packers preseason game. Like I feel like he's earned that starting job. Just from what I've seen, like I just don't know what else he would need to do to prove that. We talked about the quarterbacks last week, and I was going to say that they played better this week than they did last week. Nothing overly dramatic to make me say like I feel comfortable. Like I said last week, I'm concerned about it. I still am. But Emory Jones has me intrigued. I could see him making a roster if it comes down to the guys that are on the team. I could see him being one of those guys. And then for me, it'll also be interesting to see how many and who or which undrafted free agents we decide to keep. Bew Braid was making a lot of plays last week and this week as well. So when guys, like jump off the field in preseason, like you said, you kind of take it with a grain of salt because it's who they're going against, but they also going against guys, they're same level kind of basically. So it kind of gets you intrigued about what they can do. So I'm interested to see how many of those guys we keep because there's a few guys, undrafted guys that I could see actually making a team or even being on a practice squad. So I think that's going to be tough for John Harbaugh to really get down to the 53-man roster, and then also practice squad. That'll be tough. All right. So next, we're talking about preseason. Do you think that the Ravens starters or vets should be playing in the preseason?
Uh, Maybe a drive or two just to work out your kinks because you haven't tackled nobody since January. I'm talking about opposing players. So yeah, maybe a drive or two because Patrick Mahomes out there playing. He just won the Super Bowl, so
Hmm.
we got two new receivers. A couple new pieces on the offense. They got so a new offensive coordinator. So they gotta get that stuff down pat. So I think yes, at least if nothing else, at least a drive or two. 'Cause like I said, injuries can happen in any given time. You just seen players get hurt at practice. Marcus Peters Gus and Justice Hill all got hurt in practice. Yes, I know the J.K. thing happened, but at least that was in a live football game. That had those they all got hurt in practice and cut, so it can happen. So
Hmm.
it just is what it is. We just gotta just take precaution. But I think we should play a driver too.
Okay. And so for me, like I was one who used to enjoy the third preseason game because that was a game where most of the stars played at least until the halftime. And I think you just expected it around the league, all fans. You just look forward to that game. But now I would just have to say no. I don't feel like it's that important for them to play in the preseason. I feel like it's a meaningless game. They've taken away one game, so it makes it even gives them even less opportunities to play. And for me, the risk is greater than the reward. I understand when we look around the league, you see Pat Mahomes and particularly Pat Mahomes because he's the cream of the crop. You see guys like him out there playing. It's like, well, why can't your guy play? But for me, I just would hate for we're talking about quarterbacks. Lamar to go out there, something happens, and then he gets hurt in a preseason game. Then everybody will be mad at John Harbaugh, kind of like they were in the first preseason game when when the rookie got hurt, when Nate got hurt. People felt like he shouldn't even have been out there anymore at that point. So it's like I don't see the purpose of it. And for me, I feel like this time of the year, you can get more work done in OTAs and training camp because that's the mental aspect of it. I understand not, not tackling and maybe you want to tackle just to, get ready for it. But at the end of the day, these guys have been playing football for years. So I don't think that not practicing, not going against someone else is going to make them go into the season and forget how to do their job, forget how to tackle, forget how to take a hit. And like today, I think today or tomorrow is the joint practice with the Packers. Games practices like that is where you can get that work in that you won't get in the preseason. So for me, it really doesn't make that big of a difference. We haven't played starters since 2021, and I don't think that changed or affected or impacted the regular season for the years that year or the years after that.
I agree. I agree. You got a good point.
All right, so we've been talking about concern for the wide receiver position. We've been talking about concern for the outside linebackers group. Should we be concerned with the offensive line?
Yes, because now that Joe D. Alexander's have his health issues, that was the guy that can get the most out of him. But now it's just like I was even saying to my man Trey, I said, "Damn, Joe D not here, so the offensive line looked lackluster. Like he was the guy that he lit a fire in them. So yes,
Hmm.
plus Fale Hayes going from tackle to guard. Nick, mm, then Cleveland's trying to learn center too. So yes, we should be instead of 1 to 10, I say maybe a 4 or 5.
Yeah, I agree. I think we should be concerned, and I think that we kind of have a lot of faith in the team just based on history. A lot of the times when certain things work out the way it does, coming into the season, I think, well, in the off season, I think we were like, I'm not concerned, not concerned, not concerned. But when you get out there and you start working, a lot of the negative things I'm hearing about camp, particularly this week, has been negative things about the offensive line. And and as far as even like still questioning who's going to be the starters for that unit. The fact that we are 2 weeks away from our first game of the season, that's a little concerning for me. And honestly, we can want to do a whole lot of things offensively, but if that offensive line is bad, we won't be doing anything.
Yeah.
So I think we should be concerned about the offensive line at this point.
The good thing is we got 4 spots solidified now. The first was just 3. Roger Rosengarten is going to be the right tackle because how he looked today against a premier pass rusher, Rashad Gary, he's entrenched in that spot. Of course, Tyler will be back. He's just chilling because he's a little nicked up. Voight
Hmm.
earned that left guard spot. Nobody's gonna beat him out. And of course, Ronnie. It's just now the right guard spot. Who wins that? Is it Fale? Is it Patrick McCarr? Is it Ben Cleveland?
Hmm.
Josh Jones. I mean, Josh Jones. And Justin Jones. I think that's his name. Whatever his name is. Yeah, Salah. So the right guard situation is the only question mark. But like the rest of the spots are solidified. But I
And
think
they still got to get out there and work together. I mean, the next 2 weeks, basically, that's what they got to do to make sure that's the unit. And like you said, pick the right guard. But I don't know. Right now, I just I heard today they said Lamar was running for his life and not by design. That doesn't make me feel good when I hear that because that's a knock on the offensive line.
For sure.
Like I said, we're 2 weeks away. So it's like we got to make sure we have the right guys on that unit. I just don't know if we've talked about them enough this offseason as we've done other units. So that's why I posed that question like, how concerned are you with them? Um, Next topic. It's been a lot of high praise for Odafe Oweh. Do you think he could be a Pro Bowler this season?
Bond injury, yeah, I can see that because he's stepping it up. Like I said, each year he's getting better and better rushing the passer. Like last year, he had 6 sacks. Now with Chuck Smith coaching him, I think he's gonna untap more of that potential in him. So yeah, now that Clown and guys not here, he's going to play a lot more. So yes, I could say he could be a Pro Bowl.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. I also said he has a great chance of to do that at least as an alternate. Even if he's not a starter, I think he could be an alternate. Even though we picked up his 5th-year option, I'm pretty sure he would like an extension where he could be here beyond that. And the only way you're going to do that is if you produce. And I feel like you just said, he's going to have a lot of opportunities to do that this year, just based on who's not there now. So I definitely think he has all the opportunity in the world to be a Pro Bowler. And it's been a lot of positive about him coming out of camp. Everybody's saying he's looking good, and he just got high praise this week from Cam Jordan from the Saints, talking about him being one of the better pass rushers in the league. So I feel like this will be the year he puts it all together, and definitely he could definitely be a Pro Bowler. That would be dope.
I agree, Shannon. I agree. 'Cause like I said, each year he's getting better and better and better. People have to realize he started playing football late.
Hmm.
So now that the game has slowed down for him because you see the natural ability is there. Like, what I mean? He's big, strong, fast. Now he's getting the mental side and technique side down with Coach Chuck Smith. If Chuck Smith would have been here his first couple years, I think he already been at that level. But you know,
Hmm.
I could definitely see it. Like I said, barring injury, I could see it.
Yeah, me too. And I want that for him. Like I said, we both were for him getting his option picked up. And like I said, getting the option picked up doesn't mean that an extension still can't be done. So we'll see. Let's hope for the best for him this season. But our last topic for today is about Ravens rumors. I don't know if you saw these rumors. I saw both of these this week from different people, and they were saying possible trades by the trade deadline as far as wide receivers. And one article was talking about DeAndre Hopkins, and the other was talking about Davante Adams, saying that both could be options for the Ravens if either team gets off to a slow start. So my question to you is, if both of those guys are available by the trade deadline or around the trade deadline, which one would you prefer the Ravens trade for?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say Devontae Adams because he's been a little bit more productive. But if you're talking from a financial standpoint, it would have to be DeAndre Hopkins. His contract is a lot more affordable. Way
Hmm.
more affordable. So by default, I would have to see DeAndre Hopkins because of the finances. But like I said, it's not a huge drop off. You know what I mean? So it's like you get
Hmm.
either way. Because DeAndre Hopkins produced whoever at quarterback saying like Devontae Adams. So, but like I said, if it had to be an overall choice, it would be Devontae. But since we do have a cap to abide by, it got to be DeAndre
Yeah, I would say D Hop too. For one, I've seen him have success no matter who his quarterback was. Those years in Houston, sometimes some years it was like not, it wasn't Pro Bowl guys there throwing him the ball and he was still successful. That's number one. Number two, like you said, I also do think he would be the cheaper option. I believe they say he'll be a free agent next year, and I think Devontae Adams goes through 2026 or something like that. But he still costs a little bit more than D Hop does. And even if we bring in D Hop, we could probably extend him for less, just based on his age, what's available to him, and just to give him that last contract almost that he might be looking for, and that's beneficial for both of us. And the most important thing for me, I don't know if you watch that receiver show on Netflix, but
Hopkins.
But Adams kind of rubbed me the wrong way on that show. And it's the same thing I said about Stephon Diggs. Like, I just don't. I understand that the wide receiver position guys can be divas. Like, that's kind of their persona, and you kind of expect it. And sometimes people are okay with it. But for me, I don't like it. Like, I just don't like guys who seem like me guys. Um, Looking at that, I think that as the season went on, he got better. But like early on, to me, he was more about himself. It was things it was times when he was saying things like, "I don't care about winning or losing," and to me, that's what it should be about. It shouldn't be about whether or not you get your stats or your catches and things like that. If the team is winning, you shouldn't care. And in an offense like the Ravens, like what we run, it's a possibility that he might not get targets. And I don't want to have somebody on the sideline pouting or mad or angry or causing any sort of confusion to the team. So those are my, three reasons why I would prefer Hopkins. Nothing against Adams. I think he would do better with the Jets if we're talking about trading just based on his relationship with Aaron Rodgers. Um, but yeah, I don't think he would fit the Ravens at all, just based on what I saw last year. Because I can't take what I saw on that show.
I'm gonna come to his defense a little bit. Like
Hmm.
you said, that's spot on. But he lost his quarterback. His best friend got released.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, no time in the garage below this person, that person. So I think him saying about the win or losing thing is, yeah, like I said, receivers they can't make their money if they don't get the ball thrown to them. I really think he does care about winning. It's just like you can't. I can't get paid if I don't throw the ball. You don't get through the ball. It's just like a running back. They can't get paid if they don't get their carries. So it's
Hmm.
stuff like that. Like to receive a running back, their big part of their job is relying on somebody else to get them the football.
Hmm.
That's why I say defensive players got it a little bit more made because they bet on themselves. All you gotta do is make a play. You rushing the passer. That's all you. Maybe schematics, put a little bit into it, but that's all you beat your guy. You get to the quarter. Same with the corner. You
Hmm.
got the guy that throw the ball your way. Throw the ball your way. You make the play. Like same for linebacker. Whereas the offense, you have to rely on somebody to get your ball. Only person I gotta rely on anybody else, as far as you know, getting any. Well, the quarterback I rely on the line a lot, but the line they gotta do their job. But the receivers, running backs, they can't give themselves the football. So I think that was just more so frustration because you can't meet your sentence. You don't get if you don't you don't get the targets.
I get it, and I just wouldn't want that on the Ravens. Like some of them conversations he was having on the sideline, I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Like
plus you
I
gotta think
just,
that's the Raiders too. There's two different organizations. I think here, I don't think there'll be a problem here with the Raiders. Basically, he said, "I'm not. If I'm not gonna get my touches and we winning, that's fine. But we're not really lose and me not the best player on the team not touching the ball. That's the difference."
and I can understand that logic. I can. And again, he's a great player. Like you said, there's not much fall off either way with picking the guys. But when you think about a fit, like I just wouldn't want that type of attitude here because we're trying to do something bigger than just get guys their stats like, to meet incentives and things like that.
That's good. That's good. I know this is the last time you had, but I did want to ask you this. This
Hmm.
your bonus. I wanted to spring this on you.
Hmm.
Give me four things that you are looking forward to seeing in Saturday's game.
Four things I'm looking forward to seeing in Saturdays. Um, that's tough because that's the last one, and I don't think that a lot of guys are going to play. Um, so let's see. I would say I'm looking forward to seeing Zach or get more time experience with calling the games because he hasn't done that before, and he seems like he's kind of adapted well in a defensive coordinator role. Um, I guess I want to see more of this kickoff rule. Like I said after the first game, that was going to take some getting used to. Still don't like it, but we gotta learn to accept that because that's what it is. Um, Again, speaking about the undrafted free agents, I want to see how many or who can pop off the screen because this is going to be an important game for a lot of these guys. Some of these guys that are going to be playing won't. It might be their last playoff. I mean, their last game ever in the NFL. Some guys don't get picked up by other teams and continue on with a career. So it'll be interesting to see how many of those guys can step up and try to still make the team, and if not make the Ravens team, make another squad. And lastly, I would say let's see some work from Justin Tucker. Because I think it was it last week or the week before the Dallas kicker kicked this unbelievable kick. Um, and everybody was high on that and was saying, how great he was because of his range. And we know we've seen Justin Tucker do stuff like that in game. So just have some fun with it. If we get to that point, even let's see how far he can go. Get him some work in that regard. But I don't expect a lot. Just for being the last preseason game, a lot of guys aren't going to play that you expect to get playing time during the season. So I don't have a lot of expectations for the game at all.
Me, like you said, piggyback off you, Zach, or his defensive play calling and scheming. Uh, like you said, the undrafted free agents. I want to see guys like Joe Evans and all them. Can they make the roster? Both Braven playing good. The offensive line. Who's gonna win that right guard spot? Is it gonna be Leahy? Is it gonna be Big Cleveland? Is it gonna be Justin Jones? Patrick Ricard. I want to see who won that right guard spot, and also the receivers. Like we know the top four is locked in. Who's going to be the other two or three receivers that make it for me? Dayton Wade, who's been playing good.
Hmm.
Deontay Hardy,
What
Anthony.
happens with Malik Cunningham? What's going to be with what they're going to do with him?
Yeah, do he move back to quarterback if they feel like Josh Johnson not and don't got it no more? So just those few little things right there that I'm looking forward to seeing.
I heard they also have Quadri Ishmael's son playing tight end some as well.
Yeah, yeah. He'll probably be practice squad since we got three already that we like. He'll
Hmm.
probably be the first person to call up, but yeah, that'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thank y'all for tuning in. Like I said, no one super long show. Some shows, it might be short. Some shows might be lengthy, depending on what's going on. Since we don't have nothing going on next week, we'll chill next week. Then we'll come that following Monday. I think that's like what the 8th or the 9th. I mean, sorry, the following Monday. That's like September the first or the second. One of them.
Get a second.
Yeah, we'll do Monday and Wednesday since we play that Thursday. Then we'll be back to then the following week will be Tuesday and Thursday like we've been doing. Y'all have a
Can't
great
wait.
Monday's my birthday, so I'll go out and have a little fun this weekend. And Monday I'll just probably do something slight, just go have dinner. But yeah, your boy be
Hmm.
30. You know. So I know what I'm about to say. Make sure y'all trade. Y'all know what that stands for. Talking Ravens all day, every day. With your host Justin P and my MVP $1 million co-host Miss Shannon Finch. We love y'all guys. We'll see y'all next Thursday, same time, same channel. We are out.
Have a great time, Justin. Have fun.
Thank you, Shannon.
Bye bye.